For those of you that know or don't know about the health insurance or ACA Affordable Care Act, the Affordable Care Act was created, and it's also called Obamacare, or whatever else you want to call it, whatever they have on the news. I guess when Obama's out here coming up shortly, we call it something else care, I don't know. Maybe it'd be
Donald Trump.
Maybe it'd be called Trump Care. Look, we'll have Trump Care coming up. It'll be a little more expensive, but you know, still be Trump Care. But ACA, Affordable Care Act, I don't like Obamacare. I like the ACA, which is the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act was created to make health insurance more affordable to families. This is a chart to show people that can get assistance through the Affordable Care Act. These are tax subsidies. What tax subsidies are, they pay part of your premium, then you choose to pay part of the premium during the year, then at tax time will be taken off of your taxes because of that premium. So it's part the government's paying for you. So if you had a premium of $500 a month, and the government said we'll pay $300 of it for you, you only have to pay a premium of $200. Your tax subsidy is $300 a month. At the end of the year, what happens is the IRS reconciles everything. You said your income was going to be this, here's what your income was, you paid this for health insurance, here's what you should have paid, and it all gets reconciled back into your taxes. So the IRS is a watchdog for all of this, but this is a nice easy chart to show somebody, hey, I've got a family of 4, how much money can I make and still get a tax credit? How can I get some money from the government? And on this chart, a family of 4, you can make $94,200 and still get a tax credit. So if I got a family of 4 that's coming to me saying, I've got a husband who's working and a wife who's not, watching the kids, homeschooling, but the husband's making $60,000, I can show that he's going to get somewhere between 200 and 300% of the, what am I trying to say, the assistance available to him. So it may end up being able to get $200 or $300 or $400 a month to pay for their health insurance for their entire family. So that's what this chart's for. I had a couple of nice ones left, so you definitely want to have that with you. So when somebody calls you, or you're sitting down with somebody, and they want to know if they're going to get a tax credit, then you can actually just look at the chart and go, oh, okay. And everything goes by your taxes. So you got to talk to them and say, on your taxes, how many people do you claim? And then they'll be able to tell you, well, I got my husband, myself, I've got little Sally, I've got little Joey, and I've got the grandson that I take care of and claim all the taxes. So now you know exactly what the household size is. And there's a minimum also. If you go underneath this minimum, you can't actually get a subsidy either. So if you have an individual who's making less than $11,490 a month, they cannot get a subsidy on the tax level. They're actually below federal poverty level. And so that's very important to know, because I will get a phone call a few times a year. Hey, I've got a son who's 38 years old and he's not working right now. He needs health insurance. Well, if he's not working, he's not filing taxes, he can't get a subsidy, which means he's got to pay full price for his health insurance. Well, he can't afford that, he's not working. Well, that's the way they set it up. Because our Medicaid was not expanded in South Carolina, and still has not been expanded, then you have a 38-year-old man who's not working, he can't get any of the assistance through anything. So that is a chart that's really, really important. People always ask, the next biggest question is, how do you determine what income they should have? Now again, this is not the easiest thing in the world. We're going to be doing training here coming up shortly for everyone on the new plans and how the new subsidies are created. But this is a nice little sheet that shows you what they go by, which is called the Modified Adjusted Gross Income. The closest you can get is on your taxes. I don't know how much you all know about taxes, but if you've ever done your own taxes, you can read your taxes, or you just sign them and just, your accountant gives them to you and just take it. But hopefully you don't. If you don't, guess what? This job will make you look at your taxes and make sure you're paying the right amount. Line 32 of your taxes is adjusted gross income. If you go on your 1040, at the very bottom of the first page on the right-hand side is line 32, is your adjusted gross income. That'll get you very close to what you should be using for the Affordable Care Act. It's not going to be exactly right, but it will be very close. But they will show you modified adjusted gross income, and it will show you what you can include, what you can deduct, and what you can't include. And that's really a big thing, because there are certain things that are not counted under the Affordable Care Act. And if you go into, here you go, about 4 pages in, it shows income not counted under the modified adjusted gross income. Child support. child support's not counted. Why is child support not counted? Well, normally when I'll say a father, because it's usually a father paying child support. Not always, some mothers could pay child support, but when a father pays child support, they've already deducted it from their taxes on the child support they're paying. So it can't be deducted again on tax-wise, so it's not taxable income. You cannot include workers' comp. It's not taxable. Anything that's not taxable will be not included. Veterans benefits, SSI. SSI is a big one. A lot of times you have somebody who's disabled getting SSI and Medicaid, or just SSI and want to get health insurance. SSI is not counted. Regular Social Security is counted. Regular Social Security is taxable. A lot of people don't realize that. They say, well, I don't file taxes. Well, normally it's because you're getting Social Security. You may not make enough to actually file. It doesn't mean it's not taxable. That means that your income is too low that they don't get taxes from you. But regular Social Security is taxable. And you'll find out if somebody's getting regular Social Security and they got a pension or they got an annuity or they're still working, they got to include their Social Security in their taxes. And then it talks about portions of scholarships, awards, grants. Those aren't taxable. And income from American Indian, Alaska Native. Again, we don't have too many of those around here, but there is income from there. Those are things that are not taxable. So you cannot include those. So if somebody's trying to get to that middle or smallest number, and they're trying to use their income, and they're using SSI, they cannot do that. What you do want to use is on the front page. So you can see wages, salaries, tips, taxable interest, unemployment comp, business income, pretty much anything that you are going to put on your taxes you use as income. But this is a nice little sheet of seeing how to figure out your modified adjusted gross income, what's counted, what's not. So that's why I give you that to put in your book, because you are going to need that when you do Affordable Care Act here come November, December, and January. A lot of those questions will come up. I also put on there a little sheet that shows Affordable Care Act training, where to go to do training. It's a little bit different this year, but that will still get you to the right place. The link that says portal.cms.gov is really where you want to go this year, but it'll still get you to the right place. But this will tell you how to go do your Affordable Care Act training, how to sign up for it, what you need to do, and you only need to do one training for it's kind of like AHIP. You do one training for the Affordable Care Act. Every company can use your certificate of training. Most companies don't do an individual training besides Blue Cross Blue Shield. Blue Cross Blue Shield likes themselves a lot, so they do their own training. And it is a little bit difficult, so you got to make sure you do study for that one too. I also put an Affordable Care Act worksheet. Again, this is just a worksheet we created last year, because a lot of times you're sitting down with somebody and they're getting an Affordable Care Act. There's other things that may go along with it besides just the health insurance. It may be good for them to get a hospital indemnity because they have a higher deductible plan, and you want to cover their deductible. There's other cancer, heart attack, and stroke. There's other things that can go along with their ACA plans. So that's why we have those sheets out there for the Affordable Care Act plans. Once you do your training, once you get into the Affordable Care Act, we'll be doing another training here coming up for the portal. We actually have an agent portal that we use, so we don't have to go onto healthcare.gov. It cuts down your time by about 75% of enrolling somebody in the Affordable Care Act. It's an actual portal link right to healthcare.gov that bypasses all the minutia stuff that the first year, 2 years ago, an actual enrollment would take about an hour to an hour and a half to complete going to healthcare.gov. Now it takes about 10 to 15 minutes using the portal. So it makes it so much easier. The portal is fully electronic, which is why I said we're eventually going to go to all electronic. Everything with health insurance is electronic now. You can't actually do a paper app at all. It is fully electronic. We'll be doing a big training on that coming up here probably in about a month. I'm waiting for the new plans to come out so we know what plans are where. I do know that there's a few companies that are going to be out there. I know Blue Cross Blue Shield will have a good plan this year. Consumer's Choice. That's our local company. They're a South Carolina company, Consumer's Choice. Aetna Coventry, I think next year they're going strict to just Aetna. We're taking away the Coventry name. They held that for 2 years so people knew that it was still Coventry, because Coventry is a good name in North and South Carolina. I think it's going straight to Aetna next year, so it'll just be Aetna. And then The new one coming in is going to be United Healthcare, but it's going to go under the name Golden Rule. Golden Rule is the under 65 healthcare for United Healthcare. So Golden Rule will be the one that's not on the exchange right now, but will be for next year. And then there's one company that is on the exchange this year that is going away, is Assurant Health. I'm not going to put it up there because they are getting out of the health insurance business. This Affordable Care Act is something to them that they are getting fully out 100%. It doesn't happen very often, but they're going away. I used to like them a lot. But these are the 4 companies that we do with the Affordable Care Act. They are the only companies that are on exchange in South Carolina. I will tell you right now, Consumer's Choice, being the local company, is the cheapest one. They use MUSC as their main hospital. Blue Cross Blue Shield in Coventry uses Roper St. Francis is their main hospital, and again, they are very networked. So when you talk about Affordable Care Act, their doctors have to be in network in order to be covered. So it is very, very much a network plan with the Affordable Care Act. So their doctors are in the Blue Cross and the Roper networks. That's where you need to go. If they're in MUSC network, you're going to Consumer's Choice. I don't know United Healthcare is going yet. I have not seen their plans. So I don't know where they're going to be going yet. I should have that again in the next month. And I don't know if any of these are going to change, if they're going to start opening their networks up. I don't have all that information yet. So it's a little bit early, but I want to let you guys know where you can do Affordable Care Act training, if that's something that you guys are going to want to do. You do make pretty good money in Affordable Care Act. I don't want you to focus on that. I'd rather you focus on Medicare first, because the Affordable Care Act all pays in arrears. So once the client pays, it takes about 2 or 3 months until you start to get paid on it, and then you get paid monthly. So you get paid a percentage of it per month. So we'll use Blue Cross Blue Shield as an example. I don't know exactly what the commission rates are, but you get paid something like around $20 a month per individual on a case. So if you enroll somebody who's 50 years old, individual, you pay probably about $20 a month, and you won't start getting paid until about March or so, and then you pay $20 a month. Again, you do it in volume, you can make a lot of money doing it, and as long as they keep their insurance, you'll continue to get paid on it, which is great. The problem is, if you're trying to make money at the beginning, I don't like you to focus on the Affordable Care Act, because it takes a while of enrolling people to start seeing a lot of volume on it. You enroll families in Blue Cross, you end up getting around $50 or $60 a month on each one. So again, it can be nice. There's many people in this office that are making, well over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month on Affordable Care Act, but it's not something to focus on. Once you get into December and January, Medicare's done,